I came across this video and I had to do a commentary on it. It's titled Matt Cox Confronting Bandman Kevo on CPN Scams. He's got a picture of Bandman Kevo for the thumbnail. It's Matt Cox and some white guy with tattoos. And they're basically doing an interview talking about CPNs. They barely even mentioned Bandman Kevo in the whole damn video. And then at the end, Matt Cox is like, he's going to invite him to come on his show, or he wants to go on his show. Yeah, of course you do. Bandman Kevo has 500 million subscribers, or 500,000, and you've got 50,000. Bandman Kevo is very successful. He has momentum. He has a following, way more than you. So that's why you're going to go after him. I mean, if you type in the word CPN, Bandman Kevo isn't even selling CPNs. So, like, Bandman Kevo is selling education. So, like, for you to, like, act like, oh, he's selling CPNs and he's doing all these things and he doesn't know what he's talking about. And they edit the video to make it look like they're talking about Bandman Kevo at the start. Bandman Kevo, sorry. But they're talking about some news article or some news reel that was, like, from, like, the dinosaur age. I mean, this shit was, like, 10 years old. And even in the news, the guy that was they were investigating with The Wire and everything, who was selling CPNs, who wasn't Bandman Kevo, he didn't get arrested. He didn't even go to jail at the end of the video. I mean, it wasn't like a Chris Henson deal where the guys jump out from around the corner and they cuff him, and then I mean, it's like, all right, so I mean, that's not helping the case that CPNs are illegal. Now, I'm not going to say that people aren't committing fraud with them, and I'm not going to say that people aren't going to jail for using them. All I'm saying is it looks like it's a little harder to arrest these people for openly selling them because, I mean, they had a guy dead to rights and he didn't go to jail. I mean, we didn't see anything. And, like, I mean, again, none of this shit has anything to do with Bandman Kevo. And at the end of the video, Matt Cox is, like, challenging him to come on his show. It's like, well, Bandman Kevo isn't selling CPNs, dude. Like, people, there are, like, tons of people that are like have a lower subscriber base are selling CPNs, but see, Matt Cox, he doesn't want to talk about them because that won't help him. He's only bringing up Bandman Kevo because, like I said, he has a big following, and most of the people who are selling CPNs don't. So it's like that's what's really going down here. But I will go ahead and I will do my commentary and tell you guys what I think. So without further ado, let's get started.
And we're going to be reviewing a video that talks about CPNs and how they are illegal.
All right. Yep. That's right. They play a video. Yep.
And how people are using them to build credit and basically run scams. So check this out. Here's the thing. Like, God bless you. Like, I mean, if someone's committing fraud.
All right. I'm going to say yes. There are people out there that are getting tons of CPNs, running them up, racking them up, and not paying the bill. Yes, that is happening. Definitely.
With them, great, good for you. But don't think that you're not committing fraud because there's a website.
I really don't think anybody that is doing that doesn't know they're committing fraud. I mean, I don't know. I've yet to meet someone like that.
Yeah.
That sells CPNs. So CPNs are.
I had a website that sold credit cards.
Yeah, exactly. It's called. So CPNs are credit profile numbers and.
All right. Well, to sell a CPN number is not illegal. If you're selling a number that doesn't have a credit profile, that is not illegal. And before I get into any more of this video, I'm going to say this video is for entertainment/education purposes only. I'm not a lawyer. I'm a superhero with a mask on. This is just for entertainment and fun. But I know that no one's ever been arrested for selling a CPN number.
And it says sometimes they'll call them.
And what you said, CPN is a made-up term.
Yeah,
like it's not a term coined by any like financial institution, or it's not a term that was coined by any government agency, like say the Social Security Administration.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that was the term CPN was just made up by the people who figured out how the whole thing works.
Or anything, correct?
No.
So CPN is just a made-up term.
Right. Somebody started selling CPNs, and
CPNs.
They talk about how they create them and that you can use a CPN in place of your Social Security number to give you a fresh start. And and you can buy them online for like $200 or $300. Mm-hmm. And they talk about how they're issued by the Social Security Administration.
I don't know anybody that sells CPNs that says they're issued by the Social Security Administration. Has anybody here? I have never seen that. So that, I mean, I don't know where he saw that. Another thing, the only people who can create a credit profile are the bureaus. They're the only people who can create a credit profile. Everyday people can't do that.
And none of that's true. Also, that people will tell you.
Well, they are issued by the Social Security Administration.
Well, yeah,
technically.
Oh, okay. So the numbers are issued by the Social Security Administration. Actually, they're not. When making a CPN, I'll show you right here. This is an example. See how this says this number has not been issued by the Social Security Administration? That's because the randomization of numbers started in, I think it was June 2011, where they stopped having your number jive with where you lived and your age and all that kind of stuff. So it's not, CPNs that are made correctly do not belong to anyone. So, I mean, there's that.
Yeah, you're right. They are actual numbers, but what they are is actually children's social security numbers. So,
I mean, I don't know where no, they're not. I mean, maybe if you used a number and then it was then later picked by the Social Security Administration to assign to a kid, but you had the number first, it didn't belong to anybody.
We're going to watch a video that tells how these guys, create or find the numbers. But the truth is they're randomly coming up with numbers, and eventually they'll stumble across like an unused number. And
all right, well, how do you know it's unused, right?
99% of the time, it's a social security number that was recently issued to a child.
That's not true. It hasn't been issued to anyone. So
these guys that are coming up with these random numbers are actually coming up with social security numbers that have been issued to children.
No, they're not. What it is there's certain number groups that are acceptable as far as they could possibly be a social security number. So basically, you're grabbing that number group. Now, granted, yes, there is a chance that number could later then be assigned to someone, but that doesn't mean that it belongs to a kid.
Let's touch on that for a second. So there's a process in which there's like some online portal or something like that where you can check the validity of
SSN validator
of social security numbers,
right?
And say you just keep changing the last two digits because what'd you say they're issued in batches?
Well, you can change. Yeah, you can figure out like what state and what batch number, and then you can figure out. Then once you get one,
so really it's only the last four that are issued to each person.
All right, now they're going to go into like basically what the social security number means as far as the first set of numbers, the middle number. Now, just so you guys know, like I said before, it used to be like this. So people who had their numbers issued to them before June of 2011, their numbers work like this. Anybody who's had their numbers issued afterwards, it's a randomized number. So people who are new to this country, kids that have just been born and just got their socials, their number's going to be randomized.
Person, the first 5 digits of the social security number are the same for everybody.
No. That depends on what region you're from.
So it's going to be this.
Again, this is how it used to be.
Same for region. Your region's always going to be the same for everybody that's issued in that region, correct? So the first 3 digits are always going to be the same.
In a certain region.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So let's say in Tampa. You were born in Tampa. Yeah. So in Tampa, or really I think in Florida, although it changes constantly, or it changes every time they reach the maximum amount of numbers they've issued.
Then it rolls back down to the last digit and it changes, and then all the values change again.
Right. So now like when I was born, it was like I don't want to say it, but anyway, it was like, let's say 263. And then they run through that entire thing, that entire sequence.
All right. He's just talking about number groups that basically they have a series of numbers that will basically show you where the person was born and how old they are. Like that information will jive with the CPN or the social security number. That, again, that's how things used to be. It's not like that anymore.
Mm-hmm. So that's the number. Then you have the middle number, which is also, let's say, another area in, like, let's say the state.
Right.
Then you have the last 4 numbers, which constantly they just rotate up until you get to 999, and then it starts over again.
But each person
it's a unique. Everybody's got their own social security number.
Right. I know. I understand.
There's some people who actually have more than one social security number. You can get another social security number from the Social Security Administration. There's a process to it. I think you're allowed to do it 4 times in your life. But there is a way to get a actual new social, and that is 100% legal. Most people are not doing that, but there is a way to change your social security number.
That concept.
Okay.
Matt. But what I'm saying is, so what does it come down to? The last digit that changes for each person? So really, so I could have 5 people with the same social security number, but it's just the last digit is off? Is that what we're saying?
No, what I'm saying is, let me give you
Is
an
that
example.
possible? Is that scenario possible? Did I just...
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. No, definitely. You could have like 26170, and then let's say 1001, 1002, 1003, 1000. So the first 5 are identical, right? But what I'm saying is when they're honest to God true numbers, numbers.
No.
All right.
Anyway, the point is that what I'm saying is that really these guys with the CPNs, all they're doing is they're taking a child's social security number and they're just continually changing the last 4.
He keeps saying that. It's just they're numbers that haven't been issued yet. I mean, it's like to say that, oh, this belongs to a child. I mean, that's not like a matter of fact.
Digits until they reach 99, then they find another.
Yeah, they're going into number groups. They're looking through number groups to find numbers that have not been issued.
Another batch that's recently been issued. Like, it's not difficult to come up with the numbers, and they're selling them as if they're honest to God true numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anybody. Like, where are you finding these people, dude? Like, I don't know anyone who's like, oh yeah, I guess legal CPN. But I guess they're the only people that I know of that actually are like, oh yeah, this is completely fine and blah blah blah.
And they're pushing it like they're issued by the Social Security Administration, which
I don't know anybody who said that. Please leave it in the comments if you guys have found someone selling a CPN that says they're issued by the Social Security Administration. Please.
said, yeah, they are. They're just not issued for the purpose of. Hey, I hope you're enjoying the video. And if you're those names through, I think it's uscitizen.gov to make bulk of financial institutions don't run those names through. I think it's uscitizen.gov to make sure that the name and the date of birth and the SOCH match.
That's true. That's the whole reason why CPNs work. And I'm pretty sure there's got to be some sort of there's got to be some sort of reason why they don't run it through that, because that would shut it all down if they started running all the applications through that to check to see if it jives with the Social Security Administration. There's been talks of saying they're going to do it, but it's yet to happen.
So that one little oversight is the loophole in this whole fucking...
Right.
And they know about that loophole. Like, they know about it. It's not like they're like oblivious to it. It's just for some reason or another, they can't close it.
Scam.
Right.
Is that people are just not checking
Right.
when they run people's credit and all that shit.
And look, I get it because like everybody that uses these things aren't all committing fraud. Some people are just using them to start over.
They genuinely really fucked their credit up, and now they're like, listen, I don't have $50,000 in 7 years to fucking fix my credit.
Right.
So I need shit right now. So I need to figure out some way to come back up.
Right. Then they go online, they buy they think it's a CPN, and it's actually a child social security number that's probably to a 2 or 3 year old kid. They start getting secured credit and they rebuild their credit. Maybe they go their whole life using that, or at least till the kid's 18 and figures out somebody's using my credit.
All right, here's a thing that I'm going to let you guys know. When a credit profile is made, it's a series of data points. And if you've got all different data points and the only thing is the social security number, that may not even show up on the kid's credit when they actually try to apply for something, because you got to think, when the kid goes to open up credit when they turn 18, even if it was a kid's social security number, when they go to open up a credit profile when they turn 18, none of their information is going to be the same when they go to apply. Different name, different birth date, different address, different email, different phone number, different everything. So there are instances, believe it or not, where 2 people have the same social. The banks are the only ones that are in the credit monitoring services are the ones that, like, if you make 2 profiles with the same social, then they kind of are like, whoa, what's up with this? Or a bank will say, hey, we already got a customer with the same social. But the credit bureaus, they'll make 2 profiles with the same number. They absolutely will.
But typically, look, let's face it, most of these people are using this for some kind of fraud, or if they've screwed up their credit in the past, they're most likely going to screw it up again
I will agree with this.
before the kid's 18 years old. Kid becomes 18, he files an identity theft report, and he gets his credit wiped, and he starts over. It's a pain in the ass for him, but that's basically what's happening. That's why a lot of these guys are just going forever. Plus, they're using websites that are most likely hosted somewhere in Russia or Romania
Using websites, I don't know.
or wherever these
As I said, Validator. I don't think that's a Russian site.
off or these out of the country websites are being hosted.
Let me ask you another question. Unless you get a counterfeit Social Security card, you'll never be able to get a Social Security card issued for the Social Security number, obviously.
Yeah.
You have to have that to do a lot of things.
Not really. Nobody asks for it.
You have to have that card, that physical card, to do a lot of things.
Well, I mean, if you're applying for a credit card online and they mail you the credit card,
But what if I go to I'm trying to get like auto loans, if I'm trying to fucking get a mortgage?
The only time I've ever been asked for my Social Security card is when I'm applying for a job. That is it. Hard copy.
trying to do a lot of different things. They're gonna want that card. They're gonna want to see that card.
no, I mean, typically they're gonna want to see your driver's license and maybe a pay stub. They're never gonna say, "I need your social." They might say, "Do you have your social?" If you say, "No, I don't have it," they go, "Well, what else do you have?" Like that's never gonna be a requirement. Usually, it's one of several things that you can provide to prove your identity. But if you don't, I don't have it, they go, "Okay, well, then do you have a pay stub or do you have your driver's license? Do you have?" Like, that's fine. Do you have a W-2 with it on it? Yes, I do. Here. Oh, okay. Like any of those documents somebody can come up with.
Right.
All right, I'm just going to point out right now that this video is titled Confronting Bandman Kevo about CPN Scams. And we've yet to hear anything about Bandman Kevo. It's been 8 minutes. So, I mean, this clearly was a way for people that are typing in Bandman Kevo's name, that his video is going to pop up. And Bandman Kevo has about 1 million more subscribers than he does. So he's using that to try to boost people watching his shit shamelessly. And I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm probably doing the same thing right now. But it's, I mean, that's really what this video is about. It's so Matt Cox can get more people to watch his channel. I believe Bandman Kevo is very good at marketing, and Bandman Kevo is selling products people want to buy. Like the stuff he's telling them, I guess the people, his subscriber base are more hands-on as opposed to Matt Cox, where it's like, oh, can you believe that? Looking from the outside in kind of thing.
Right. Anyway, but what I'm saying is there's a lot of guys out there that are pushing CPNs.
That's true. Just YouTube CPN. I mean, you got tons of new people with masks.
There's Bandman. And
right. That's a fraud in itself.
What, pushing it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Well, it is. And here's what bothers me about it.
Well, I mean, you can talk about CPNs all day, every day. That's what you guys are doing. I mean, selling CPNs. You can sell a number. I don't think it's not illegal to sell a number.
Is that these guys come back in the comments section and they tell me it's perfectly legal. Go on the FBI website. They say it's legal, or they're issued by the Social Security Administration. Well, you and I just watched an 8-minute video where there was a whole investigation report, and there's all kinds of stuff.
It was done
by was it MSNBC or
I think was it ABC or MSNBC?
ABC News?
Oh, that's Nightline.
I think they're going to show the video right now.
Whoever that is from.
Yeah.
Are we not looking?
All right.
And CPNs.
Let's go to the video.
And
he's got to know what he's doing is fraudulent video where they just completely get this guy. And it's so funny what he's saying to people. And then when they come, and he's got to know what he's doing is fraudulent, because when they come and
he's talking about the guy in the video, not Bandman Kevo.
they say, "Hey, we're here to talk to you," he doesn't want to open the door. He doesn't want to talk to him. He's freaking out.
Well, how about this? Did he get arrested? You know what I mean? Let's talk about that. Did he get arrested?
Because he knows it's illegal. So anyway, let's watch the first part of the video. So
let's watch it.
Credit for a living. It's all about the.
All right, this video is like super old. Like I mean, you guys really. You're gonna do a video on a video that is this video right here is like I mean, I think it's like 10 years old. It's super old.
Personal
He's got all
connection.
them shit hanging on the wall, all his little fucking certifications.
But you really can't blame Donald Batiste for being an
I mean, I'm going through the video. You guys could watch it if you want. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but basically, he's selling CPNs as a form of credit repair. And these two are saying they're illegal, and then we got this guy right here. Where the hell is he? I guess that's his website. He's saying he got scammed or whatever. But the thing is, and he's this guy. You got this guy. Check your blood sugar and check it often, right? He's saying, oh yes,
companies for them to go out and open up.
they're definitely illegal. But here's the problem: we don't see a video of the guy getting taken away in cuffs. I'm just going to point that out. Now, I'm not saying that what he was doing was legal. I'm not a lawyer, but we didn't see him get arrested.
New accounts.
Could it really be this easy?
Yeah, there we go. I see it.
Two of our producers headed to Baton Rouge, going undercover.
This is the button.
Oh, they did the sting.
You know what's on your partial credit. When last time you checked?
And listen to how Batiste describes those CPNs that seemed almost too good to be true.
It's a 9-digit number that you get validated by the Social Security Administration.
All right, he said that. This is the first time I've ever heard somebody say that it's validated by the Social Security Administration.
You use it almost like your social. You can only use it to.
You hear him say Social Security number.
And he was all too
Administration.
happy to explain where he gets them.
We build them. We go into the system.
We go into the system and build them. No, they don't. The only person who can make a CPN are the bureaus. That's it. All the people doing, I've got a workshop that shows you how it's done step by step. But when people say, oh, yeah, like we go into the system, they don't want to tell you exactly how it's done.
Applied for this new credit profile to the Social Security Administration.
Investigators tell us CPNs are often
that-
obtained
that
by plugging
is
in
a lie.
random 9-digit numbers into a government website or other validation site that we're not going to name here.
Not yet issued. See, they kept saying, oh, they were issued and they belong to kids. Why does it say not yet issued?
Until a number is found that has not been issued.
Not been issued. How is a not been issued number a kid's number? It's not.
Batiste told us we could buy a CPN for $350. It sounded
$350. That's kind of high.
so good, but was it legal?
And it's 100% legal.
100% legal.
The FBI to have.
Oh, really?
It's legal for him to sell it.
Research. Some people say CPNs are illegal. The only reason why they say they're illegal is because a lot of people don't know how to use them.
Turns
know
out
what
those
that
people
means.
who say it's illegal
All right. I'll tell you what it means. Don't use fake documents with your CPN. If you don't use it, people who are making people like Matt Cox, he went to jail for making CPNs, but he was making tons of them and he was making fake people up and was using fake documents. Yeah, that if you do that, your chances of going to prison are really high. Yeah, that's why he went to jail, is because he was using fake documents and making fake people. He wasn't making a CPN with the same name as him and then going in with real documents. He wasn't doing that.
that would be the authorities.
They should have
There
let him
is no
explain.
legal use for a CPN. They are not issued by the Social Security Administration.
And the Social Security Administration agreeing, saying, despite what many of these credit repair websites imply, CPNs are not legal. And remember this?
And it's 100% legal. You go to the FBI to have.
So we called the FBI as well.
All right. If they're 100% not legal, then we need to, at the end of this video, better see him in cuffs, right?
Well, they say they also don't issue CPNs. The fraud works because authorities say some credit card companies rarely check to see if the CPN matches a person's name.
Why don't they do that?
The Electronic Transactions Association, trade group made up of credit card issuing banks, says consumers that choose to place one of these CPNs on a credit application will be committing a federal crime. State and federal agencies are cracking down.
Let's
In New
stop.
Jersey, 4 people pled guilty to stealing $200 million.
So
Chances are they were making tons of CPNs, running them up using fake documents.
all right. So here's the thing. What like they're skimming over a lot of this stuff. Like I guarantee what he
And just for the record, that video did not end with that guy going to jail who was selling the CPNs.
explains to them, because he's pulled their credit. So he pulls their credit. So now he knows on what their credit profile is made up of: their name, date of birth, and multiple addresses that are associated with them,
Right.
and their social security number.
Right.
So I'm sure what he's saying is use this CPN, pull your credit using a different address that's not associated. Because if
All right, this part is true.
they did pull it using the same address,
You have to create a fucking paper trail.
No, this guy's wrong. He thinks he knows what he thinks he's connected dots, but he's not.
attached to that fucking social security number.
Exactly. You have to separate. So you have to
Yeah.
separate your two. And then he probably says, use your name.
But okay, so here's my hang up with that. Say you go to apply for something. I'm 37 years old, and
Right.
they're gonna pull my credit, and it's gonna be completely fucking devoid of anything.
Yeah.
It's gonna be completely clean.
Well, no, it's not. Because what they're going to do is they go online. First of all, you typically go by John Bosiak.
Right.
So
Well, yeah. I mean, people who are new to this country are going to be in that situation.
That's what my driver's license says.
But it does it. It actually says John James Bosiak.
Right.
So go ahead and apply using James Bosiak. Perfectly fine. I have a friend who's named Travis Hayes. His name is actually Michael Travis Hayes. He uses Travis Hayes because his father was Michael.
All right, this is an interesting point, and yes, that makes sense. If you use a middle name, that may be better for you and help your profiles from merging.
Michael Hayes. So he goes by Travis.
And I'm going to point out something else. What he's saying that people are doing is using their real names. He didn't do that. He made a ton of CPNs with different names, and ran shit up. That's why he went to jail. Just, he used fake documents, and that's how they got his ass.
That's his name. My middle name's Bevan. I could go by Bevan Cox. So he probably said, so pull your credit under James Bosiak, use your date of birth, use this CPN, and use a completely different address not associated to any of this old bad debt. Go online and apply for a credit
It's really an address that's associated to your credit profile.
card. That immediately, and he's probably applying for
Even if
them.
you get declined.
Oh, you will get declined. So then he's probably saying, now get a secured credit card.
Those are not easy to get. There's like getting a secured card with a fresh CPN is not like something that's like, that's guaranteed. I'm giving them the money, right? It's secured. That's guaranteed approval. No, it's not.
So as soon as you apply once, it creates a credit profile.
That's true.
Because there's lots of people named Matt Cox. But those people have different dates of birth. Or
Right.
There's like 5 things that make up. If
Those are the data points.
you just change a couple of them, and as long as there's now no connection other than the last name and the date of birth, the credit bureau doesn't blend the two credits. So what happens is you've created James Bosiak, same date of birth, different SOCH, different address. The credit bureau thinks this is a completely different person.
That's true.
And he just applied for a loan with Bank of America, a credit card, and they said no. But now your credit profile is valid. It's now been created.
There's going to be hard inquiries on there now, though.
Right. So
Yeah, one of them. And also, your credit profile's there, but your public records aren't.
now when you go to get your secured credit card, they're going to pull it, and it's not going to say no profile found. It's going to say, this guy's been found. He's got a couple of inquiries. He doesn't have any credit. He didn't have any trade lines, and you're applying for a secured credit card. So you give him $200.
That is not as easy. You got to make sure your public records are on point, or you won't even get that.
Or $400, whatever you want to put up. You put up $400, they give you a credit card. Now, a month later, boom, you got a trade line. $400 credit limit with Bank of America. He owes
The Bank of America secured card is almost harder to get than like a regular card from like anywhere else. The Bank of America secured card is like one of the worst cards for you to try to get.
$42. His payment is $11. His date of birth is this. His name is this. His address is this. As long as you never cross, contaminate that credit with your old one,
Right.
You've got a completely separate profile. And
All right. Do you see how, I'm almost going to bring up the point that this video was titled Confronting Bandman Kevo about CPN scams. And now he's going into basically everything he knows about CPNs. It's like, where's the confrontation? I'm waiting for that.
when you go to buy something, you go, here's my credit card. And they go, oh, can I see your driver's license? Sure, right here. You've got a valid driver's license.
Yeah, but why did you use fake ones?
You have multiple credit cards. You can go open a bank account.
Okay, you do all this. Why did you use fake documents and have different people's names with different colors like black and green and red and all that? I've watched some of his other videos saying he did that. He didn't do it this way.
Mm-hmm. So that's what these people are doing, using a social security number issued to a 5 or 6 year old or a 2-year-old.
It says it's not been issued. Where's he coming up with that?
Mm-hmm. So that's what he's doing. And
that guy's not Bandman Kevo. So
they're saying it's illegal. What happens is a lot of people will say, no, I bought a CPN and it's perfectly legal. I watched some guy on the internet who said it was.
Yeah.
Some guy who just got out of prison 5 years ago or 10 years ago, and he said it's perfectly legal.
Yeah.
And so, well, here's what you have to ask yourself. Mm-hmm. If I go to apply for a loan and one of the things they ask me for is my social security number and I give them a CPN, I've committed fraud. The moment I'm lying on the application, you're committing fraud.
Yeah.
That is true, but here's the caveat with that. If you don't have a fake document that you've handed in, there's something called plausible deniability. And if you go in, I screwed up the number. That's my old phone number. I got the numbers mixed up. That shit like that happens all the time. That's going to be really hard for them to nail you. And also, you didn't make a credit profile. You can't make a credit profile. The credit bureaus do. So it's like a loose gray area. That's what makes it loose and gray. Having the fake documents are what nail your ass dead to rights.
So that's what they're saying. Like, that's the problem is that they're asking for your social and you're committing fraud. But anyway,
Period.
so yeah, so
the whole thing's one big scam. And I never even I never looked into the CPN thing.
I was going to say something about this guy, but I won't.
At all.
Bro,
I know that Bandman Kevo was making videos about it.
All right, fine. We're back to Bandman Kevo after 20 minutes.
And then there's another guy, Moneyman, was making videos about it. And there's a few other people.
And Bandman Kevo teaches about it. I've never seen Bandman Kevo sell a CPN. I've never seen anything like that. He talks about CPNs just like you are right now. I don't get the
making videos.
The only thing is Bandman Kevo again has a ton of subscribers. Matt Cox, 40,000, 50,000. He doesn't have. He has a fraction of what Bandman Kevo has, and he's trying to get people that watch Bandman Kevo to watch his shit
about it. But like I said, I never looked into it because I'm like, dude, it's got to be some bullshit.
Yeah, but honestly,
in my mind, I'm like, yeah, it's cool if you're willing to take the risk and break the law.
Well, here's the thing. Learning about this stuff will show you how the system works. You don't have to break the law with it. You're seeing how credit profiles are made, how your credit starts. A lot of people don't know how that works. So, there is a benefit to knowing how all this kind of stuff works.
Like that, then I'm sure it's a cool come up for a lot of people.
Yeah, but you still have to build the credit. Because think about it, you have to build that credit. So it takes about 6 months before
that's true
for you to build that credit and get a bunch of credit cards, and then so let's say 6 months to a year. So you can probably make $50,000 to $100,000 in a year if you're able to do other things, come up with pay stubs, and there's other things associated with it. You can.
With pay stubs, all you got to do is use your pay stubs. If the CPN's got your same name, cross out. Like your pay stubs sometimes have your social on it. Just cross it out.
Come up with it.
It's not illegal to cross out something on a document.
Good chunk of money and then dump the whole thing. I'm sure there are people that are.
And there are people that burn up CPNs. And I do not, I'm just for the record right now, I do not agree with that. I don't agree with that stealing. That is fraud. And the people who do that should go to jail.
I'd read an article about a guy who probably had, I think, 30 or 40 of these things
set up.
Yeah, you get greedy.
And he was doing it.
And he had been doing it for years. He would run them up for about a year and a half, borrow heavily, dump them. He was always dumping them and dumping.
That's how you get caught.
Wow. Eventually, they figured it out because they were all going to like 2 addresses.
Right. That's the ass kicker when it comes to CPNs is the address. Everything else you can change. You can change a phone number. You can change a email. That's super easy. It's the address that you are able to get the mail at. That's because they always mail you the card, right?
And he was using something else. Like he was always saying the same like employer or something. Mm-hmm. And so they eventually caught him. So.
Yeah, I don't know anybody. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but I don't know anybody who's been arrested for paying their bills. I don't know. Hey, I don't know. You guys let me know.
But anyway, let's. Yeah. Hey, sorry for interrupting the video.
No.
Of up to 40 months.
So we was really at a crossroads with the ministry, finances.
Foster says he gets
Just so you guys know, a guy at a car lot told me that there's two people that don't pay their bills, cops and preachers.
a credit card using his new credit profile, but then Batiste offered him something even better.
We were strapped, for lack of a better term.
Batiste said he would get Foster a line of credit of up to $500,000. All he needed was another cash payment of $4,000.
All right, yeah. When you go for big money, yeah, you're definitely going to be on the radar.
Trust was there. We trusted him.
Hoping to finance a new church, he says he wired Batiste the cash. As soon as the money was gone, so was Batiste.
All right, so he took the money and ran with it. He didn't have this guy do something and this guy got in trouble. He just sent him the money and then he just ran with it.
Donald Batiste is a wolf in sheep's clothing.
So he basically said he was going to hook him up with funding, and they gave him the money, and he ran with the money.
Lakeisha Wells, who didn't want her face shown, says the same thing happened to her after paying Batiste $1,800. If I was Donald Batiste, what would you say to me?
I want my damn money back.
Okay, well, all right.
So we decided to pay Donald Batiste a visit at his office in Baton Rouge.
Hello, Mr. Batiste. My name is Byron Pitts from ABC News. We talked to police and investigators who say what you're doing with
He took the money and ran. Well, how did they find him?
credit privacy numbers is illegal. You don't do credit privacy numbers? I'm sorry. I had many gifts, Mr. Batiste, but lip reading isn't one of those. Would you mind opening the door so we can talk? Oh, he's turning the lights out.
So if he didn't think he's doing anything wrong, why is he
turning the lights off?
Oh, he knew he was doing something wrong. But here's the thing. Why didn't he go to jail?
After sitting in the dark in his office, he finally came out.
All
There
right.
are people who told us that they gave you $1,500, $4,000, and never heard from you again. They're not telling the truth?
No, they're not telling the truth. I'm still here. All my numbers are still the same.
You said that you get these CPN numbers from Social Security. Is that correct?
All right. Here's the thing. Those people are saying they wired him money and he didn't, he took their money. And then he switches on and saying, oh, he's talking about CPNs being illegal. So these are two different issues right here.
No.
You told me that a few minutes ago.
I just watched it on video.
I don't get them. We have agency that we use.
And that agency gets those numbers from Social Security.
Correct.
And what agency is that, sir?
Legal CPN.
Legal CPN. Oh,
Legal
shit.
CPN, online company located in Michigan with the current F rating from the Better
Oh, that guy. Oh, my
did
God.
not respond to multiple
Yeah, these guys, they've been around. These guys are like one of the first people to do this. So he could have very well thought they were legal. The legal CPN are the only people that I have ever seen that are like, oh, yeah, CPNs are 100% legal.
requests for comment.
You say you get these numbers legally.
Legally.
But I'm telling you now, we've talked to Social Security, and they say that's just not possible. They don't issue CPN numbers.
That's fine.
So how do you explain that?
That's fine. I don't have an explanation at all.
Do you think it's legal? Do you think it's ethical?
I'm asking that you leave my property.
I'm asking that you leave my
You were
property.
an honest businessman.
Batiste insists he's done nothing wrong. In fact, he has not been arrested or charged with fraud.
See, he has not been arrested or charged with fraud. Why?
But Foster's and Wells' complaint, along with hundreds of others, have been referred to state authorities. And for now, Donald Batiste appears to still be in business.
Wow.
See, look, I mean, here's the thing. They're like, oh, it's definitely legal. They got him on video, right? Okay, they did a piece on him. Why didn't he go to jail? Let's think about this. He just walked away. So there's something going on that, he was allowed to do that. Now, look, I'm not saying, everything CPNs are 100% legal and all this kind of stuff, but I mean, he did not go to jail and they had him dead to rights. So, I mean, roll that around in your coconuts.
All right. You want to? We're.
I trust he's being investigated.
Oh, I'm sure it's coming down.
Well, investigated. They had him. He was selling them. I mean, what more do they need? What more of a smoking gun do you need? Like, I don't.
It's an open indictment on him. Fucking.
I mean, Chris Hansen, the guys jump out. The cops, around the corner. They tackle his ass and always put the people in handcuffs. That didn't happen this time.
Pretty soon.
There were a couple guys.
And pretty soon, that video is older than Dino Crust.
And listen, I know a couple guys right now, and I knew a couple of guys in prison who were going around and they were getting inmates' social security numbers.
I don't know why they do that. You don't even need to do that.
And information. And then they had somebody on the street who was building their credit. And once they built their credit, they were getting them a they were getting them loans or credit lines between $50,000 and $150,000, and they were giving them $25,000. And then they were saying, well, it's so funny when they were talking to the guys because.
Well, here's the thing. If someone's in jail, let's think about it. They've got a lot. What do they have? They have time on their hands. So you could wait to build someone's credit, real credit up, someone who's in jail. And when they get out of jail, they use that good credit and they have an arrangement with somebody. It's shady, but that'd be hard. It's not using a CPN.
I had multiple guys come to me going, Cox, listen, can I talk to you? You know, so-and-so. And I go, yeah. And they go, listen, he's got this thing. I go, yeah, the credit repair thing. He's going to fix your credit. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. He wants $25,000. Yeah. Is that legal?
$25,000 to fix your credit. Damn.
How's it legal? You got 4 more years to go. You're borrowing $25,000. And then they would always say, yeah, but my girl's on the street. She's going to use the money to invest in a business. I go, come on, man. They all know the business is going under. And how are you getting a loan? They're going to get me the loan. I'm going to have perfect credit. So you don't seem to understand. You have no way to provide the documents that you need to prove to the bank that you can repay this loan.
Okay, that is true. You need to have income. They want it for loans, like credit cards, cars, that's like stated income. Phones, that's all stated income. They're going to want to see bank statements. They're going to want to see documents showing your ass makes money for anything big like large personal loans and homes.
No, it's a business loan. I'm like, look, the problem is like you're a drug dealer and you don't understand that that's not how it works.
Right.
You have to be able to show them, like, would they lend you $150? Sure, if you had perfect credit and you could prove that you have a way to repay that loan.
Right.
Yeah, they want to see money going into a bank account.
Right.
You can't prove that. So, you can't prove that you've been making money. These guys were making a ton of money.
That is one of the biggest caveats when people are talking about business credit. Oh yeah, I'm going to get business credit. You have to have a business that has been making money. You can't just make some fake business and go, oh yeah, I'm going to get business credit. I'm going to build a credit up. Business credit, the banks want to see money going into accounts. It's not like personal credit.
They ate a lot of commissary.
Yeah.
Like they were living well. They had some girl on the street that was doing it. Well, that girl was obviously also preparing W-2s and pay stubs and applying online and getting the banks opened online and getting the money. And it was a whole scam that was happening. And one of those guys, I'd love to say his name.
Say his name.
He actually got out and he's still doing it from outside.
All right. So he's getting people's inmates. Hey, it's shady. But if people are building up their credit and then running it up and not paying it, there's nothing to stop anybody from doing that.
Yeah.
So, and look, I know we talked to that guy the other day. Remember? You know what I'm talking about. Talked to him the other day. He's saying, I got a buddy. He's going to fix my credit. He can get me a loan for, what was it, $200,000? What did he say it was?
Stuff like, those large numbers. Hey, if you want to try to get that kind of money with a CPN, good luck. I wouldn't advise it.
I forget.
I was going to say, he said something along those lines.
Yeah. So I forget the exact amount. It was outrageous. And, but I got to give him whatever it was, 50,000 or 10,000.
That's high.
I forget the number. But it was like the same thing. Like, you don't have a job.
Yeah.
He's going to fix your credit, get you the credit line, pull the money out. You're going to run the credit line up. You're not going to be able to make payments. It's going to go under. Is that fraud? Yes, it's fraud. You have no way to repay that loan. Like, he's trying to ask me, that's legal, right? No, you're working on your next indictment.
All right, so he was like, it's like he had that soundbite play at the start of this video, but making you think that was Bandman Kevo. But he's barely talked about Bandman Kevo in this entire video, which I have to call out. It's like you had a thumbnail saying that you're confronting Bandman Kevo, and you're really not. So that's kind of deceptive.
What these guys like Bandman are doing.
All right,
and people get upset with you when you say, look, that's fraud. I don't care that it's fraud. For God's sakes, good for you.
Well, here's the thing. If there's nothing to stop anyone from getting their credit, building it up, and then running it up and not paying it back. There's absolutely nothing stopping anyone from doing that. Everybody has social security numbers. They can build up their own credit and they could run it up if they choose to. They're going to get punished. Their credit's going to get all banged up, but there's no debtor's prison in this country.
Bro, Go ahead and do that.
Yeah, go ahead and commit fraud and get paid.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't have a
Fuck
problem
it.
with that.
If
But
you can
don't
get over. But yeah, don't, it
Don't
is
be
what it
ups-
is. Yeah, let's not call it what it's not.
exactly. But don't try and convince me it's legit.
Yeah.
Just say it's fraud.
I mean, it's a dick thing to do. I would call it fraud, yeah, but the chances of, here's the thing, it's like, is it fraud? Yeah, but would you go to jail for it, for building up your credit and then running it up and then not paying the bill? I don't know anybody who's gone to jail for that.
I'm committing fraud.
Yeah.
So anyway, I thought it was funny because we watched the video and it came out. And I thought it'd be an interesting, because we've had this conversation over and over again.
Yeah. I think we've talked about synthetic IDs before.
Listen, if I was going to do a scam, I would love it. I just build up the credit and borrow the money and just keep going and going.
That's what you did.
Mm-hmm. That's a great scam because you almost never get detected. You almost never go under unless you're doing something like you borrowed too much money. You never make a payment. A lot of these guys never even make a payment.
Okay, this is true when he talks about this.
They'll run up $150,000 and never make a payment and be like, "Ooh, I got the money," and they're running around. Yeah. Okay, well, you didn't make even one payment.
Yeah.
They're going to look into this.
That's true.
Yeah.
The guys that get away with it are the guys that make a few payments, pay some of the money back, make a few payments, pay some. Then eventually, if it does go under, the bank's like, okay, well, I mean,
he made 6 payments.
He did pay some of the money back. Then he pulled the money back out. Like, that's how a normal bad loan happens. Something went wrong.
Right.
But just to pull.
And that's another thing. It's like when these banks lend money out, they are assuming there's always a risk that the person's going to default. There's always risk reward.
Pull the money out and run with it. But now it's just such blatant fraud. You're fucked.
Yeah, that's true.
So thanks for watching the video. Do me a favor and subscribe. Hit the bell.
No, all right. I think he says he brings
He
up.
just needs to stop. And if he wants to come on the program,
All right.
do me a favor and subscribe. Hit the bell for
Yep,
notifications.
all right,
Leave a
no.
comment in the comments section and share the video if you're interested. If you follow Bandman Kevo, please copy the link and send it to him and let him know that what he's doing is illegal. And
Well, I mean, no, it's not. He sells information. I don't know anything that he, from what I've seen. Maybe I don't know what he's doing. All I've seen is he sells information, courses, and OnlyFans subscription. I mean, that's not illegal.
he just needs to stop. And if he wants to come on the program, I'd love to have Bandman Kevo on the program.
I'll bet you would, because then you would get more subscribers out of it. What you don't go after anybody who has less than you. You only go after people who have more than you because you want to benefit from it.
It'd be great.
I'll
Tell
bet.
him that I'm ready to come down there and get on his program, or he can come up here. And
Of course you would, because whoa, he's got another one. Holy crap! Damn, what's this guy like in love with Bandman? Like, I mean, that's oh Lord.
And I've never done this before, but if he would actually consider doing it and actually come down and do it,
Oh, bet, yeah, because you're trying to glob on to his success.
I would actually pay for the plane
I'll bet you would, because you want to get the exposure from it.
ticket to fly him in and out, put him up in a decent place too.
Oh, will you?
And put him up in a decent place because I know he's never going to come.
Oh, here we go. So he's calling him out because this guy's dying for Bandman to make a video about him to give him the exposure because he's trying to grow subscribers because it's a similar thing, but it's really not. Matt Cox doesn't sell any education. All he just wants to be like a personality, which that's a hell of a lot harder to monetize, make money from. I mean, YouTube monetization. You don't make shit. You need to sell something. Unless you got like hundreds of thousands, millions of subscribers, you can actually get a decent buck out of the monetization. But if you don't, you've got to be selling something, because if you're not going to make any damn money. So, I mean, that's what this is about. I mean, I didn't know he made another one. Gee whiz.
So, see ya.
Yep. All right. Well, guys, I made my comment. I gave you my 2 cents. I know this video was long, but I just wanted to go over what I thought. So, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Crusader out.